So hello, everyone. My name is Tonya Wood. I am the Senior Director of Volunteers and National Engagement at United Through Reading, and I am excited to have you here for tonight's webinars, Ask the Staff, What's New with the United Through Reading app. And I am joined by my fabulous coworker, Catherine Homburg. Catherine, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Homburg, and I am the Senior Salesforce Business Analyst here at United Through Reading. So Tanya and I both been with United Through Reading for a little over 6 years. So I hope that with some of our combined knowledge that we're able to provide you with some insight into the app, where we are and where we're going in the future. Forgive me if I sound a little bit hoarse or congested because I am. I'm on the downslope of a cold, but I'm happy to be here with y'all and to answer any questions. Please put everything in the chat. I'm monitoring it for us.
Fantastic. For presentation purposes and bandwidth, I am going to turn off my video camera, but this is who I am. This is what I look like, and I'm also there on your screen. But let's get started with the United Through Reading app. So, in talking about it, we want to share what is new with the United Through Reading app, what's coming down the pipeline, what we're excited about. And so the other month, if you have been using the app all along, you may have noticed that we gave the app a facelift. There were some new graphics added. We had some different wording when you were ready to create your story. We added a hamburger menu. That's the top left with the three lines. That's called a hamburger menu. So that's new. That has different information on it. And then for those of you who have registered, I sent an email out today. And for our app users, we sent one yesterday that said there's a new version of the app. And that features our push notifications. And so that lets you know when you have a new story or if there's a new spotlight available, new ebooks and things like that. And so you can see the little window there that also shows you in that hamburger menu where your alerts are going to appear. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to walk through everything that's new with the app. We're going to encourage everyone to make an app recording. So this is one of those times where we encourage you to get your phones out. You can be a little distracted as you listen to us because we're going to do a live demo of the app. Um, when you're using the app, as you saw across the bottom, we have the create, the view, and the spotlight tabs. Create is where you create your personal stories. View is where you go to watch the stories you've made or those that have been shared with you. But our spotlight stories is where you can view stories that have been shared with the United Through Reading community, whether that is by a service member, a veteran, an author, someone who speaks another language or is able to sign for us. And so those spotlight stories, you do need to download them in the app in order to play them. So you can see the Acorn Adventures that no longer says download, it says play because I downloaded it and I'm able to watch it live in the app. So we did want to highlight that because that is one of the fun features with our app. And it's also a volunteer opportunity for those who are military affiliated. So we wanted to highlight where those appear should you be interested in doing that. Catherine, anything to add?
I think that the biggest thing to add here is that the stories, our spotlight stories, are rotated in and out on a regular basis. And we do try and make them relevant to kind of things that maybe kids are kind of dealing with. So we do like back to school push, or when it's Book for the Military Child, we kind of encourage different readings of Book for the Military Child in different languages and things like that, just to kind of um, reach these communities through these donating volunteer opportunity.
Great point. Great point. Thank you for highlighting that. Um, so we're going to move on. We're going to talk about the app in real time. So um, again, the newest version is version 1.7. That's available in the App Store and Google Play. You will most likely need to manually update the app going in there. My device does not do it on its own. But this is the point in time where if you are military affiliated, we're going to have you open the app and get ready to use it. I am going to share a different screen, and that is on my phone. And so here, I took a screenshot. This is when you open the app. and you have to log in. You see the red Troop ID button. This is for our military affiliated, those that are able to create an ID Me account. If you have an ID Me account already, it's the same email and same password that you're logging in here. The app is designed to be used by military affiliated. The recordings can be sent to anyone, but the app itself is for our service members, veterans, and well, spouses, because that's what I am, and I'm going to use it. So as I screen share, we also have discovered that I cannot use the app as I'm screen sharing. So I did a pre-recorded video, and we're going to walk through that. And so once you're logged in, you'll see that it says, welcome. I'm going to press the tab or oh my goodness, I'm losing my words, the plus in the bottom right-hand corner. And I selected that I'm going to make a physical book. Now, we do have ebook options available that you can choose from, and those you'll need to download that, and then it's on your device, and it's a split screen option. But for tonight's purpose, we're going to use the physical book option. If this is your first time ever using the United Reading app, you will need to grant permission to access your camera roll, and microphone, because you can see here on the top where it says you can take a picture or you can go into your photos and use a preloaded one. So when you're ready, you're going to take the picture. For the demonstration purposes, I took a picture of my keyboard, and for the title demonstration, so I put in demo. Description of the book, you can leave that blank, or you can say that it's who the author is, who you're reading for. For tonight's purposes, I'm just putting that as a test recording. You're welcome to add a festive frame if you want, and that creates a border around the screen while you record. Once you're ready, you're going to press that you want to make that recording, or again, pull up a pre-recorded video. So here we have prompts. We want to remind folks that you want to have your device supported by something, a tripod, a pop socket, a phone stand. We don't want you holding your device while you're making the recording, because that could make it a little awkward. And we're also going to encourage you to turn your phone in landscape mode. I kept it in portrait mode, and I'm quickly recording my background. That's me waving hello. So record 5-10 seconds. When you're done, you're going to press the red square at the bottom, and it takes you back to that home screen. So here is where you're going to decide who you want to send the recording to. So I paused it just as I was clicking the button, but you're going to select Add Contacts. Now, if this is the first time you've used the United Reading app, or it's the first time you're sending to a new contact, you're going to have to enter their information. So you're going to give them a nickname and add their email address and verify that they're over age 18. After that, they'll be stored in your contacts. You only have to remember their information once. So I'm going to walk you through that. That's where you see it there, because I'm sending it to myself. I didn't need to add a contact. So I'm going to send it to myself, check the box, and say done. And then I'm going to save the recording. So now the video is still in my Create tab, but it is ready for me to upload. And it says upload pending. If I recorded this and realized I didn't want to send this, I could delete it, but that's not the case. Tonight, I want to upload it. And so,
before you upload it, Tonya,
yes,
can we just point out that while Tonya has this video in the queue to be uploaded, she can actually go and make another recording.
yes,
So
I
you
can
can
make several
upload
of them.
individually. Yeah, go ahead.
That's a great point, Catherine. We do not have to, you can record 5 stories at once and upload them all, which you can see here. It says upload all. So if you're doing multiple recordings, you can record them all or upload them all at once, or one at a time. For tonight's purpose, we're just going to do the one. So I'm ready to upload, and you can be on Wi-Fi or data. And when I upload it, it says to me, are you sure this is what you want to do? Yes, it is. And so it uploads the image of the book, it uploads the video of the book. And once it's done, it's going to go away from my Create tab, but it's going to appear in my View Stories tab. And so there it is. I can download it to watch right here in the app, or I can go to the web viewer and see it. We talked about push notifications before. And so if you look at my hamburger menu, that's there in the top left next to my name, I now have a red dot. When I click on that, it says I have a new alert. And when I go in there, it says great news, I have shared a video. And in here, you can see that we've also shared when a new Spotlight video is released. We see that someone has viewed the story. We see that the app has been hasn't had an update. We see that an ebook is available. So we are going to let you know when things are happening with the app. And to highlight again, this is how it works, right? I can view it online, but I did say you can send this using that email address. So I've sent the email out, or I've sent the video out. The recipient now has an email. In this case, I sent it to myself to make life a little bit easier. So if I go to my email, it says that I have a new story from noreply@utr.org. When I click that email, it says, congratulations, you've gotten a new story. And this is what the recipient will receive, whether they are military affiliated or not. The first time they're getting this, it may be in their spam or junk folder, but it walks them through how to view their stories. And so when you scroll down, there's that blue box that says view your story now. When I click that, it's going to take me to www.utrapp.org. Military affiliated, just like our app, are going to log in using that red troop ID button. But if you're sending it to someone who's not military affiliated, that is maybe your parents, or you're sending it to your brother for your niece or your nephew, but they don't have that military affiliation, they're going to log in with the green ID me button. So I, again, am military affiliated. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to log in, hopefully. I don't know where my password went. There it goes. And so when I log in, it's going to show me that I now have a new story available. And there it is. I can play it right here on the website, or I can download it to have it available to watch offline. Catherine, I'm going to pause because I just threw a lot of information out there for folks. Is there anything that appeared in the chat, or is there anything that we should clarify?
No, but I think it's a nice thing to just let everybody know that if you're not super familiar with the app, you can send any video recording, you can send it to multiple users. So when Tonya made the recording and she sent it to herself, she could have made that recording and sent it to herself, sent it to myself, and sent it to Storybank as a donation as well. You can set it up to 5 users without any issues. So we try and keep it to 5. So 5 users, and it's nice to say, like, if you're doing something for Christmas and you want to send it to your nieces and nephews, you only have to make one recording and send it to all the nieces and nephews, you know? So I think that's just a nice little tidbit to know there. I think the other thing too is also just as a point of notice to everybody, Tonya, when she demonstrated all of those notifications, that was a lot of notifications. We do not have intentions on sending all of those notifications to any user. That was just a lot of testing on our behalf in the background. So our intentions are not to be aggressive with our users with those notifications, and really just to kind of keep you informed. So it's important that when you download the newest version of the app, don't turn off those notifications like we always do normally. Right, Tonya?
Yes,
Because some of
guilty.
those notifications are going to be important, like, hey, there's a new feature available, but you have to download the latest version for it. Or like Tonya said, like, you have a new story. So they're not aggressive, and they're not meant to be aggressive. They're just meant to be like gentle nudge reminders, like, hey, something new is going on. It's just a way for us to reach our app users without we're all, I don't know, overwhelmed with emails. If you ask me, I mean, who doesn't have multiple email accounts? And then we have the one that we send all the junk emails to, and we just kind of ignore that one for a little while, right? So this was kind of just a nice way to reach out to our users without being, we're not trying to be pushy about it.
Great
I think
point.
that was
Great
all
point.
that I caught.
Yeah. Um, I do want to highlight, as I'm looking at my story library on my phone, you'll see that it says story library. At the bottom of my story library, after 500 plus recordings, is where my spotlight videos come in. So I do want to show you what this looks like on the website as well, on a desktop, and we'll get there in just a second. But we do want to highlight that the web viewer is also currently where you're going to go to request a book. So this option, again, is only for military affiliated. And you can see in the blue box that it says request book. When I tap on that, it takes me to all of the titles that United Through Reading has available. And I'm not going to overwhelm you with all of them. I can tell you there's probably close to 400, if not more. So I'm going to pick a random story and say, what is Baby Shark about? And you'll notice in here we have descriptions. We tell you the age range that the book is designed for, the grade level, the language, because we do have bilingual. We have French and Spanish. So we want to make sure you know what you're receiving. And when I'm ready to order this, I say go ahead and I'm going to put in the recipient's mailing address, whether that's me because I need the book to read, or it's my nephew in Nebraska because I just recorded the story for them and I want them to have a copy of the book. We do also ship to APO and FPO as well. And because we use Amazon Prime for CONUS locations, that's going to take about 2 to 3 days. Alaska, Hawaii, the territories, probably closer to about a week and a half. And when it comes to our APO, FPO addresses, as most of you know, if you have been with the military long enough, we're at the mercy of the mail system. And so we ask that you give us up to 3 weeks, though most times it will arrive sooner. And this is all completely free of charge. What I do want to show you very quickly is I talked about what the web viewer looks like. And I had said, you can see the spotlight story. So the exact same thing that we just had on my phone, but now I'm on my desktop so I can see my story library. I have not refreshed the screen, so that's why my new recording isn't there. But my story library, all the recordings I have made or have been sent to me, in addition to all of the spotlight stories. So on the app, it has its own tab. In the web viewer, it has its own section. Catherine, anything to add there?
Not that I can think of.
Fantastic. So we are going to go back to our slide deck, and we're going to talk about, and also, was there anything in the chat that we needed to answer?
No, we're good.
Fantastic.
No,
so
let's all
let's
quiet on the Western Front. That's a good sign. So,
oh, good, good. So one thing that Catherine and I really, really wanted to highlight is, we're walking you through how to use the app, but we also know you might have questions as you branch out and use it on your own, or you're sharing it with someone and they have questions. And we want to let you know that when you reach out to us at appsupport@utr.org, you're going to talk with real people. You're emailing a real team. So we have Kurt Schwent, who's actually on this call, can answer questions as well. Catherine is part of the app support, as well as Laura Steiner and myself. So when you reach out to us with questions, one of the four of us is going to be right there to help you troubleshoot and make sure that you are good to go and can make your recordings, can receive them, questions about ordering books, anything like that. We are here to support you. And this is where I get excited. I'm going to pass the baton over to Catherine for a little bit to help share about what is in the pipeline, what's coming down the line for the United Through Reading app.
Okay, thanks, Tonya. So we're very excited. We've been working all this year with an amazing development team to try and improve on some of the features of the app and try and make it what we envision to keep our service families and our veteran families connected to kids in their lives, but we're not trying to compete with other existing programs out there necessarily, because they don't meet the needs of our military and veteran families always either. So we're trying to keep it to our unique community, but still also kind of bring in some elements that we've experienced in our own personal lives with other programs that we really appreciated. One of the biggest things is we do know that the book ordering can be cumbersome to have to leave the app to go to the web viewer to request your book. And sometimes it's confusing to talk to service families that don't understand that we do get some app support tickets about that. Like, well, I made a recording. How do I order the book? So one of the big things that we are working with our developers, and I think they're pretty close to having it ready for us to test is doing our book ordering in the app, which is going to be it's going to be an amazing lift off of our users, I think, to request the books. And then we're also looking into ways to filter the book titles, because right now it is a list of almost 400 titles and it's just a scrolling through an alphabetical list. So if you want something that starts with the word warm or worm, you've got a long ways to go down that list to find that title. We do have a search box, but if you're just kind of perusing, it's long list to get down to the bottom of it. So putting in some book title filters, maybe by age range or by author, possibly by theme of the book, is something that we kind of have been discussing and working with. It's on our to-do list. The other thing is that Tonya went pretty quickly through her contacts in her phone. But if you got a quick glimpse at it, you would have saw Tanya's name about 4 or 5 times in there. So we're talking about updating your contact records and making that a little more user friendly. Right now, the way the contact record section is once you put a contact in, it's stuck there. So we kind of want a way to be able to duplicate any contacts that are maybe we accidentally typed in the wrong email address the first time and now they're kind of listed as a typo. And then we're also talking about updating our user profile. Maybe even something basic going from I was active duty and now I'm a veteran this year, and letting us be able to celebrate that transition with you. I'm not too invasive. We don't want your birth date. We don't want, we just want to, know a little bit about you, just to be able to celebrate those milestones of your life and know who our users are, so we know who our community is and how better to serve you. The other thing we talked about was adding favorites to option to our stories, which I can't remember, what did we say? We were going to cap it at 10 favorite stories. And those favorites, because if you become a super recorder and you're sending all these recordings and you have something like 75 recordings in your library, on the app, it only shows you the first 20. Is that correct, Tonya?
That is correct.
So the first 20. But if you happen to favorite this story, even though it's from, 6 months ago, and then these 20 are from the last 3 weeks, that favorite story will outdate with some of the newer ones and be at the top of that list. So just a way to kind of make it like quick recall for our little ones, especially that really have like that favorite story that they really, really like. Like that one was their favorite story that their service member read to them or their veteran read to them. And then the other thing is we're talking about a way to put in our app an option to support UTR. And supporting UTR to us looks like all kinds of different ways. I mean, just like this event is a volunteer event, you guys are, the backbone of our organization. We are a small but mighty team, but we couldn't do nearly what we do without the help of our volunteers out there. So being able to have our volunteer opportunities a little more accessible to our volunteers, and even converting some of our users into volunteers. Additionally, we offer an opportunity to fundraise, doing like book drives, even just promoting our existing book drives when we do some that are like back to school, or we're going to do a special book drive for like fall themed books, just to kind of bolster like our book library, so we have more to give away to families. And then additionally, if you ever wanted to be converted into a donor, it just kind of makes it a little more, like I said before, accessible. So if we put it all in one place and you don't have to search on the website for the ordering and then on the app to make the recordings, and you have to go back to the website to find your volunteer opportunities, if we can kind of make it all comprehensive and streamline it into one space, that's kind of what our goal is for the next version. And what we're looking at now is we have some upgrades in the works that we will implement and push out. And then what's going to happen is we're actually not going to do any more upgrades. We're going to completely rebuild our app. So we're going to kind of take some things that have worked and things that haven't worked and kind of improve on them even more. So I think I'm not jumping the gun when I say this, but maybe I am, Tonya. But we are looking for all of your feedback as volunteers and app users or app facilitators. We're looking for your feedback on how the app is working, what's not working. Take it from the first time you opened the app. What did you see as you're interacting with more and more service and veteran families? If you're facilitating recordings, what are they saying to you when they're making a recording? Like, oh, that's silly. Why do I have to put that in? Or, oh, I'm surprised I don't have to do that. Or whatever you are seeing and whatever you're hearing, we would love to hear that back. And I know we have a email address that we're going to show you at the end that we'd love to get any feedback you have our email from the invite for the Ask the Staff. Email us. I couldn't get any of those words out right. Email us back at that email address as well. Any kind of feedback you have, we at the UTR app, which is if you go into the app under the hamburger menu that Tonya was talking about, there's a section that says what does it say? I'm going to look at
Help.
my app really fast. It says help. And
Yep.
under the help, it has a button that says email the help desk. And it's right there built into the app. So you can always drop it into the help desk too. If you got feedback, that's kind of a quick and easy place to find us too. So I think that's it for what's next. We got a lot coming up.
We do, and I'm excited as well. And so, as Catherine mentioned, something that we'll be putting down the line on the app is how you can get involved with us. And so, volunteer is one of them. To reiterate, current volunteers who are attending the session are getting volunteer time because you are giving up some of your personal time to learn more about our program and be able to share it with your service members, their families, and veterans. But if you are joining this call because someone said, hey, you should check this out, and you're interested in volunteering with us, this QR code will take you right to our volunteer interest form. You can fill that out, find out about volunteer opportunities in and around your area. You can help in person, you can help virtually. We have social media ambassadors where you're just promoting our program on your social media channels. It's a great way to build your resume. Great on applications. We are a family-friendly organization. Plenty of kids have joined us. Plenty of spouses and siblings and friends have joined our volunteers when they go to an event. So we'd love to have you join us for that. And you can use that code there, and we can throw it in the chat as well. If you're like, I'm watching this on my phone, I cannot access that. We can put it in the chat for you to have access to later. And before we wrap up, these Ask the Staff sessions in 2025 have been happening monthly. And so we want to give you a sneak peek at what's coming down the line for next month's Ask the Staff. And it's one that we are all super excited about. And I know Penny was on the call. She had to hop off momentarily, so I don't know if she's back. But either Mandy or Catherine can talk about our Veterans Day Storytime that we have happening. I'm going to open the floor to either Mandy, Catherine, or Penny.
Take it. I'm ready. I'm ready. So yeah, so I have had the pleasure of being a part of the Veterans Day Storytime with the service members since it began in 2022. So this will be our fourth year of doing it, if my math is correct. And so it's been great. It was an outreach that we did with service members and veterans, and what they do is they record stories, and then we offer them up to educators to help bolster up their Veterans Day programs in their schools. And we did this with a wide range of exposure based on language, English, Spanish books. Last year we did American Sign Language, which was really well received. And we did it with service members and veterans alike. We did it with picture books for like little kids. And then we even did, we had a really great gentleman at the Pentagon who read the beginning of a chapter book. And it was kind of one of those things like, hey, I hope you guys go and finish this book. I hope this inspired you to finish reading the rest of the story. So we did a wide range of age exposure to it. So it's great that it got us an opportunity, gave us an opportunity to get more donated stories from our service members and our veterans to give back to the community, to bring awareness about Veterans Day and about this community that the service members and veterans are a part of. And it also gave educators an opportunity to kind of bring this into their classroom in a real way. The educators got an email. We used a unpublished or unlisted, and I don't know that exact language, but YouTube channel. So you could only view the stories if you had the link. And they were able to preview and pick which stories fit their classroom best. Maybe they said they were in elementary school, but maybe it was English as a second language. So they wanted all the Spanish stories that fit their education better. So it was a good opportunity for us to do a community service and then connecting our non-military veteran communities to military and veteran for this experience. And it was also an opportunity for those service members that were active duty to still get volunteer time, or veterans too, if they wanted it. And then really just impacting these kids' lives, giving them that firsthand experience of we had one reader that was fantastic. She happened to read a story called 21 Steps to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. It's a really long book title. I think it was something like that. Well, anyway, she happened to be somebody who worked in the DC area creating uniform guidelines. And so that was kind of her introduction. Like, this is really important to me because it talks about the precision of the dress that this service member had to wear and the precision of their movements. She says, this is something I do as a career. I help write these things. So it's really kind of a neat circle for these kids. And that book, well, that's a picture book, but it was really geared toward middle and high school kids. It's an older content picture book. So it was really a great experience. In the past, we have, through the years, we have reached all 50 states. We had over 1,000 educators. And so in a single year. So we're really excited about this year. We're hoping that we meet both those goals again this year. We want to hit all 50 states. We want to hit over 1,000 educators. So if you guys are on any of our social media, and when we start pushing that out in the next couple of weeks, please, please, please share that, because the more educators we sign up, the more we feel like we're giving back to the community that way. But I really hope that you join with Penny and Mandy to learn more about what they have in store for this year, because it's going to be even bigger and better than it has been in the past. So I'm really excited. I mean, Mandy, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I think you covered it pretty well.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. I'm excited for it too. And one thing to add is that, Catherine, as you mentioned, this is recordings done by our service members and veterans. So those of you on the call who currently serving or have served and would like to use the app and contribute to this so that more students around the country, because we have our DoD schools overseas as well, can have access to Storytime. We'll help you out. We'll help you pick a great book to read. Again, we can walk through the app with you to make sure you're comfortable and confident in using it. We can review your stories ahead of time to make sure that you're in frame and we can hear you and see pictures. But you also earn volunteer time for doing that as well. So all you got to do is read a story and get some volunteer experience. We are just about ready to wrap this up. Our final slide, as Catherine mentioned before, is that we are open to the questions and suggestions. So if you have a question about what we talked about already, or as Catherine said, you've been using the app, or while we were doing the demo and you thought to yourself, man, it would make a little more sense if they did this. Please, now is the time, come off mute, let your voice be heard, put it in the chat box, or if you're like, I need to think on this, email it to us later, because we value your feedback. It was because of your feedback that led to some of the changes that we've implemented and are looking to implement in the future.
Hi, this is Catherine Ragsdale. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Hi. I almost feel silly asking because it's like I should have done this already. So, I have the app and I only did like one video. I've been volunteering with since February, so like long enough to should have done this. Trying to figure out how to order a book. I saw you go through it on the slides, and I had tried to do this earlier, and I just kind of I don't know if I gave up, but I was like, oh, this is not easy for how to order a book. And I don't know that I have like access to log in somewhere on the United Through Reading. And so I'm like, again, this feels very much like something I should know, but it is disconnected, which you guys have already mentioned you're working on doing it through the app.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm not really sure how to order books for.
Sure. And because I know you, Catherine, I'm going to give you the step-by-step, and it's going to work because I know you're a military spouse. So when you go to www.utrapp.org,
Yeah,
that's when
I
you're
put it
going
in
to
the
use
chat.
the red troop ID to log in. And so same email, same password that you use for ID Me that you use to create the app account. And once you're logged in, you'll see your story library, you'll see the spotlight stories, and then in your top right will say request book. That should be a blue box. If for some reason that is grayed out, please let us know, because it may have been in the way you created your ID Me account, that it said you were not military when I know for a fact you are. And so
Okay.
if it's not the blue box, that's reach out to us at appsupport@utr.org, or reach out to me personally, and we'll walk you through that process. But if it's that blue box, that's where you're going to click it, say okay to the pop-up menu, and then, as mentioned, it's close to 400 books. So if you have a title in mind, I would utilize that search feature and type the name of the book you're hoping to find there.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason it's like not letting me log in. So maybe I just need to I'll meet with you separately.
That works. That works.
Thank you.
Of course. UTR, Catherine, is there any questions in the chat or suggestions?
No, I got a couple people that just wanted to check on if we got their info, their volunteer info, and I did. So I think we're good on that.
Fantastic. I am going to stop sharing this screen, and that way I can also help monitor the chat. I will actually turn my camera back on so you can see me again. And we will say again, if anyone has any questions, this is not a speak now or forever hold your peace. Definitely let us know what we can answer for you. Put it in the chat or send us an email. We are available, I want to say pretty much around the clock, because the four of us who help with the app support are all in different time zones. So if you're awake, chances are one of us are awake as well. But someone does have a question. Go ahead. And Kirsty, if you want to come off mute, that might be easier than trying to type it in the chat box there. Oh, sure, sure. No, go ahead and type it out. We will patiently wait. But while Kirsty is typing her question, one thing we do want to add, and you saw when I was doing showing you the alerts, our book for the military child, the Sometimes Apart, Always in My Heart, that is available for folks to view as a spotlight story. Senior Enlisted Advisor John Rains has read, he's available there in the spotlight, but if it's one that you would like to record yourself reading as well, it's also available as an ebook. And so you can do that. And then you also have the option to request that from our book request form. And that could be sent to you to make the recording or to the recipient if you can't hand deliver it. You know what, Catherine, the one thing we did not touch on is every time you record a story and upload it, that's a free book that you can request from United Through Reading. And you are not limited to the books that we provide. 400 is a lot of books, but go to a local library and they're going to have a lot more. So you're welcome to read family favorites that you have on your bookshelf. Maybe you found something at the local library and you want to record that as a shared story time. We encourage any and all kinds. You could read the driver's ed manual. Maybe you're going to be away when the child's about to go through driver's ed. It's a huge milestone. Mine is approaching that, and my mom heart is very nervous. But it's a very big step in a child's life, and it's a milestone that we as adults don't want to miss. And so I did see that. Kirsty asked a question that doesn't necessarily need to be answered here. But if there are other questions, we're happy to answer. Melanie has suggested that we go back and walk through how to request the book. So I'm going to share my screen again there. And as Catherine mentioned, yes, these alerts, if you opt out of them, the push notifications, all that means is that it's not going to show up on your home screen of your tablet or your phone, but you'll still get the alerts within the app itself. Despite testing it, I may have been one of the ones who just force of habit turned off the notifications on my phone. But what I'm doing here, so again, this is the web viewer. Logged in here, this is my personal story library, all the recordings that I have made or that have been sent to me, the spotlight stories, all the ones that are service members, veterans, and even author, because we do have Miss Shane on the call today, and she is the author of Acorn Adventures, are available here that you're able to watch and download to have available to view offline. But to request a book, again, here's that blue box. When I click it, tells me that I'm offering it and I am continuing with that. As Catherine mentioned, this is alphabetical. It's a lot to go through, but let's say I want to read a book with night in the title. And so we have Goodnight Gorilla, we have Goodnight Moon, we have Goodnight Numbers, If Animals Kiss Goodnight, On the Night You Were Born, getting into the chapter book with Stink and the Midnight Zombie. So you can see, if you have an idea, maybe you can't remember the title exactly, or you just don't want to type out the full title, guilty. You can even do a word and it will pull up what's available. If you're considering Stink and the Midnight Zombie by Megan McDonald, you can click on there. Again, it's going to help you with the age range, the grade level, and how it is. And where it does say, I do want to go real quick to our Goodnight Moon, Buenas Noches. It's telling you that it's in English and Spanish because it's a bilingual title. And so when I click on order, that's again, where does this book need to go? Does it need to go to me to make a recording, or does it need to go to the recipient? If you've never made a United Reading app recording, we will send you one book to get started. And then after that, it's that 1-for-1 ratio. So every time you upload a story, you can request a free book from United Through Reading. Any questions I can answer there? Again, this is APO, FPO. So we do ship worldwide. Oh, and thank you for putting that there. The link to request that book, our website is again, www.utrapp.org. I do want to, because I completely forgot to do, is I am going to also share the Zoom link if you are interested in learning more about that Veterans Day story time that we're doing. I'm going to share the link to register for that. It'll be included in the volunteer newsletter. We will also share it on our social media channels as we get closer. But if you're excited about it and want to jump on the ball, sometimes if I don't do it now, I forget. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. And so that's that Zoom link there. But Catherine, I think that might be it for us, unless you have anything to add or anyone from the United Through Reading staff has something that maybe we forgot. Would love to have you chime in. Or for our regular app users, I know we've got a few on here, something we may have missed that you've encountered when using it. Please let us know. What we did not discuss was that facilitating. And so that's if you're running a recording site using the app, you can facilitate those recordings. We opted not to do it for this demonstration because if that's how you're volunteering with us, that is a separate training that we walk you through. But if you are a facilitator and you have some questions, please reach out to any one of us on staff and we're happy to assist. But I mean, for now, that's all I have. I don't want to keep anyone just to chat. I'm happy to chat, but I don't see anything else in the chat box. I don't see any hand raise or anyone off mute. So we're going to give it 30 more seconds and then we're going to say thank you for joining and have a wonderful evening.
Is it like Jeopardy? Do we get like
I know, I
ticking?
should have had theme music ready. All right, I think we are good. So again, thank you everyone for attending. We appreciate you dedicating some time to us and helping to promote Unite Through Reading, our mission and our app, and making sure that service members and veterans are able to stay connected with their loved ones. Reach out if you have questions and have a wonderful evening.
Yep. Bye, everybody. Thank you.